afternoon, Mets fans, and welcome to a Tuesday edition of Driving with Mr. Met. I am Mr. Met, and I'm coming at you in the afternoon today because I was busy this morning and didn't get a chance to record in the car. But coming at you with good news. As we all know, Pete Alonso is our 2019 Major League Baseball Home Run Derby champion of the world. It was awesome to watch Pete last night. I want to talk about the Derby. I want to talk about the All-Star game tonight. And it won't be long, but just had to get something recorded to talk about the polar bear. You know that things are going well when a Yankees fan is complaining that the Mets have some semblance of success. I saw that multiple times last night on Twitter. Of course, the big comeback there is, oh, look, it's the Mets World Series. The closest thing the Mets are going to get to win a World Series. My response to that is, shut your mouth and let us enjoy some nice things, because we don't get them very often. And Pete Alonso, boys and girls, is a nice thing. Pete Alonso is an absolute national treasure. He's a gem. He is so humble. He so resembles David Wright. I can't even comprehend that the Mets were able to get this kid who seems to have such a level head on his shoulder and is such an immense talent. And I don't know how the Mets got him. It seems wrong that the Mets have this guy on their team. Now, look, David Wright career trajectory, as we all know, took a major downturn, or a complete tank, frankly, due to injury. And I'm certainly not suggesting that's going to happen to our boy Pete Alonso, but, David Wright's career ended very differently because of injury. Let's just hope that Pete doesn't end up in the same boat and that he's able to stay healthy. And I believe firmly, just seeing the type of swing he has and the type of player he is and how smart he seems to be. As long as he stays healthy, the future is a successful and bright one for Mr. Pete Alonso. So the Home Run Derby itself, I honestly generally do not care at all about it, to the point where I don't even watch it. But I have to say, this new format that they went to was insanely fun. It was an absolute blast to watch. It was so much fun. I felt so bad for Jock Peterson, and he plays for the freaking Dodgers, who lose once a week, and yet I felt bad for him. And Vlad Guerrero Jr., unbelievable performance. It was just an absolute great night for baseball, highlighting and showcasing these young kids. What more can we possibly say? I'm very critical of Major League Baseball, of how they go about changing the game as often as they do. So, for me to be as critical as I am, the way they try to change the game, the way they talk about pace of play, for everything they get wrong, they got this right last night with the Home Run Derby. And let's hope that continues tonight into the All-Star game itself, when we'll get to see the Home Run King Pete Alonso and Jeff McNeil and Jacob deGrom, who is slated to pitch third, I believe, after Ryu and Kershaw. I think that was the comment I read from Dave Roberts, I'm pretty sure. So we'll see all those guys pitch tonight, play tonight rather, and then actual baseball resumes on Friday this week. It is worth noting, since we're talking about actual baseball, that yesterday the first trade rumors started to surface around Zach Wheeler, and it was about the Red Sox. The Red Sox seem to be interested in Zach Wheeler. So the only problem with that, in my opinion, is that the Red Sox farm system is about as bad as the Mets as far as its depth and its value. I'm sure they have a couple of diamonds in the rough there and a couple of really good players, but is Zach Wheeler going to be the type of arm that they're going to go after to try and be willing to move their top prospect? Let's not forget, Zach Wheeler is a Met because the Giants were willing to move him for Carlos Beltran. Carlos Beltran, the gift keeps on giving to the Mets. Uh, but you know, it's going to be interesting to watch this unfold, because I can't see the Yankees sitting this out. If they see that the Red Sox are going to be interested in acquiring Zach Wheeler, what's to stop the Yankees from themselves saying, well, wait a minute, we have some prospects up in here and we can trade them to you as well? And that's the scenario that the Mets need to happen, because they need to have a little bit of a bidding war for Zach Wheeler. Now look, he's a rental player, right? We know he's a free agent after this season. So the bidding war, we have to be realistic about it, what the Mets are going to get in return. But shit, I mean, the Mets should absolutely still be floating the possibility that they're going to get some kind of very good return for Zach Wheeler if they try to deal him now. And let's not rule out the possibility that the Mets re-sign Zach Wheeler as a free agent after the season. That would be great. It'd be awesome if the Mets could pull with Wheeler what the Yankees pulled with Aroldis Chapman a few years ago in the Cubs. The Yankees wound up with the absolute the absolute winner of that trade now. But at the time when the Cubs won the World Series on the arm of Aroldis Chapman, getting them there, it didn't look so bad. It didn't sting so bad to see Gleyber Torres moved. But you ask any Cubs fan right now if they wish they had Gleyber Torres back, I suggest they'd say yes. We'll see how it unfolds for the Metsies in the next couple of days. I may or may not be back tomorrow. Depends on how the All-Star game goes tonight. If it's fun and it's worth talking about, I'll be back. If not, then I'll come back on Thursday to prep for the second half of the season. So until then, whether it be tomorrow or Thursday, thanks for watching. I appreciate it, as I always do. Follow me on Twitter at Mr_Met, and as always, let's go Mets.